40inbox.com here, and we're going to be checking out this article called Woman Shares Genius Side Hustle Organizing Rich Moms' Homes. Let's check this out. So, a young woman has shared her genius side hustle that funded her move to the other side of the world. Emily Brogan, an Australian TikTok influencer living in London, said she was able to secure up to $600 a week on top of her regular job by helping women in wealthy areas organize their homes. The Brisbane local advertised her services, including organizing and color coordinating wardrobes, linen cupboards, and pantries, on local Facebook groups and soon had the job offers coming in. Which, by the way, is like, how rich do you gotta be to justify spending the type of money like this to help people organize your home? Like, that's interesting. Personally, regardless of how rich I am, I probably would not want to do that. Right? Now, like hiring like a interior designer, maybe. Uh, Hiring people to clean your house, okay. Doing the yard work, okay. Cleaning your cars, okay. But just organizing your home, I don't know. So I posted in the. Oh, hold on. Wait, is it? Oh, okay. Let's check this video. Okay.
Ago, right, I started a little side hustle where I posted on Facebook groups. Like, I don't know if in the UK you guys have this, but in Australia you can join like Facebook groups like a suburb, and then they're like community pages. And if you're like over 18, like most people are in it, right? Anyways, I'm a fucking genius if I don't say myself. And I
Language.
joined these like really prestigious like suburb Facebook groups in like Brisbane, like the city I'm from. And what I did is I posted in them and I was like, hey guys, like I have extreme OCD. I love organising. I have this dream to move to London. If you want to help me, you could hire me to come and I'd charge 50 AUD an hour, which is like £27. That's like a decent amount of money, like per hour to charge in Australia. I can't lie now. I was like, I charge this much to come and organise and colour coordinate wardrobes, linen, shoes, all this bullshit pantry, all this stuff, right? And I was like, oh, there's no fucking way. Like, people are going to pay me 50
She just
AUD
loves
now.
to cuss,
Because
doesn't she?
most wages in Australia, like, you know, are between like 20 to 30 AUD. So I was charging double time here. I was charging for a bank holiday. No, when I say I got inundated with people being like rich mums being like, let me help you, sweetie, let me help you live out your dream. I was like, fuck me sideways, you guys, how much money do you have, Karen? How much money do you have? Anywho, I ended up getting booked out all the time. Like, I was working full time doing retail. Like, I don't have a degree, right? Like, I just razzle and dazzle in a bit of retail and hospo. So I was doing retail full time, and then on top of this, I was working about like 50 hours a week because I do like retail like 38 hours a week, and then I do like 12 hours of this little side hustle. And when I say it was a good time, like I was rocking up to these houses, right? Untangling necklaces, like half an hour for 50 fucking AUD. Fuck me sideways. Like, honestly, I mean, the first house I rocked up to as well, this was a great time, can't lie.
I'm just wondering something. For those that might end up stumbling upon this, is this a common like phrase for like in Australia where it says "fuck me sideways"? Like, that is such like a like very specific phrase. So I guess it's pretty common in Australia. I just in like general conversation, I definitely haven't really just heard of that. It's just kind of funny. But I mean, she's making good money by doing this without really doing anything basically at all. From like basically what it sounds more so that it's not really a side hustle. That it's not really like a job or anything like that or like a business. It's like you got a bunch of rich moms that basically kind of like feel bad for you and are like, let me just help you out, honey. Let me just give you some money. You know, like money, like this amount of money doesn't matter to me, so let me give you some. Which again, like if you're gonna get some money, don't complain about getting money. It's just kind of interesting because like it's not really a side hustle. It's just like it's like a charity case, basically.
Like, love this for me. I rocked up with my first house, right, setting it off on the right note. Little plastic bag with like 3 cleaning products. Had a bit of Glen Clenny, had some paper towel and a bit of spritz, bit of spray. Am I going to lose a finger? Maybe. And I rocked up to this lady's house. It was a really nice house. And I rocked up and I was like, hey. I walked in and I fucking swung my bag around on this little side table, hit it, knocked this vase off, and I was like, oh, fuck me, is that the first thing I'm cleaning today? Smashed it on the floor, and then she was like, oh, I was like, I hope that's expensive. I felt really bad. I was about to have a meltdown. She goes, oh no, it's fine. It's just my mum's before she passed away. I was like,
Wow.
fantastic. Love that for me. Clearly not a career. But yeah, it was a great time. I mean, like, I was honestly just organising handbags. I was making some good money. Like, so many people. I was like, if you have a vision, make that shit happen. If that's one thing I will say, I'm an ambitious gal. I'm very driven, if I do say so myself. So there's no excuses. If you have a goal in mind, set your mind to it and it'll fucking happen. Because I'm telling you now, it was a great little hustle I had going there for a bit.
I mean, look, if you're able to make money in like a unique way, why not? Go ahead and do it. It's just one, the language on her, like maybe you need like a bar of soap or something. You know, the whole old saying about like, oh yeah, if you got like a really foul mouth, dirty mouth, you just like stick a bar of soap in it. I think I remember that from like Tom and Jerry or something. But still, it's like this is crazy. But good money. She says she targeted groups in blah, 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 in prestigious areas of the city who could afford to front up $50 for her services. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Anything else? Let's see some of these comments. If she thinks she has a genius side hustle, why share it with the world? You saturate your own market with other entrepreneurs joining in, and then you find yourself unable to find work or being forced to work for less. She's not as much of a genius as she thinks she is. The thing is, I mean, she, depending on her social media following, she might make up like more money in one video due to sponsors or like donations or whatever, or linking to other sort of platforms than her whole full-time job plus this side hustle combined. Like this is like the really weird thing about social media. Like you have people like on TikTok, for example, like if they're able to get like a few 100,000 views per video or averaged out basically on a weekly basis, that's what they get per video or per day. They can make literally six figures a year, if not six figures a month, if not a million a year, right? Like it gets really, really crazy. Like the craziest thing about like this whole social media space, things can like escalate like to unknown levels, right? Like I've seen someone with a following, right? That was under 2,000 people on one social media platform. That's all they had. Barely got any views on their videos, but they generated about like $2 million in a single year, which is crazy. And then their social media blew up after that and whatnot. But like, it's crazy what can like happen. Like, very crazy what can happen. I think there are plenty to go around. Working for rich people isn't all rosy paychecks and a stunning work environment. You have to deal with them. Fair point. Just because someone else may get the idea from her doesn't mean they're going to be any good at it. She says she's OCD and loves to organize, so this is obviously in her wheelhouse. I don't think she's sharing top secret information. I'm sure people who love to cook or clean are well aware they can make money doing that if they so desire. Now, also what I found interesting from just like stumbling around on the internet is that I've discovered people making money in very unique ways or for interesting reasons. So, for example, I stumbled upon a story where this girl was like a waitress, but she would end up having basically this one customer, a very loyal customer that always tipped big, but basically was like a sugar daddy to her, but not really. Like it was like a really weird way of doing it where like basically she was getting paid 2K a month recurring just to text with this guy, right? This client. And the reason for it was because I guess the guy maybe got like his wife maybe passed away or something and just wanted someone that he thought was pretty that he could just talk to or whatever, and he had the excess money coming in. But like that's a very unique way of making money. Another one was basically someone who just purely sold their sperm, right? Like basically to like sperm banks, and they were bringing in like 400 to like 800 bucks a month. Like depending on where you are, depending on what you're making already, that could basically be the difference between you basically living paycheck to paycheck or having money to put towards investments, depending on your specific situation. So people are able to make money in very odd ways. So if you're able to find a unique way to do it, or just like a really random one, go ahead and do it. I mean, what's also weird, like seeing like waiters who are vegan working in basically a barbecue restaurant. Like so, you got situations like that too. So if you're able to make money doing it, go ahead and do it. So the rich people are talking about their side hustle of paying poor people a little bit of cash to do their menial task. It's never been done before. Interesting. Let's see. So as weird as this seems to me, I have a friend here in North Carolina that does it. She'll come in and organizes your home while making everything more efficient. Is managing your own life that difficult? So this one person basically put it like this. One could get bogged down in the constant call of all aspects of one's life children, work, spouse, bills, pets, relatives, shopping and not see the forest for the trees. So I could kind of understand that. But that's a little bit different than what this girl was actually talking about because this girl was basically saying pretty much all she was doing was like untangling like necklaces to put it into perspective and basically she was getting paid a good amount of money for doing that, basically saying that like what she was doing was pretty much nothing and getting paid a good amount of money. Now what this person in the comment section is kind of like describing is like, let's say that you are working like 14-hour days every day, Monday through Sunday, right? Like, let's say that you don't even get any time off. Maybe you got your own business that you're operating. You're just constantly working. So you got basically no time to do your laundry, no time to get food, no time to take care of your pets, basically, no time to care basically anything at all. Got no time to basically clean your own room, right? Because you're so focused on basically working. Like a good example of this to put into perspective is live streamers who stream like literally like 12 hours a day or 14 hours a day. They're basically barely functioning humans with crazy amounts of cash in their bank account. So, in their situation, because they're barely functional as a human being, other than just streaming to thousands and thousands of people, them hiring someone to do this for them to where they could just wake up, brush their teeth, take a shower, and go stream for like the whole day, and then go back to sleep after eating something, right? It might be ideal, right? Like, it really depends on the situation for it to really make sense. But you basically have to be a barely functioning human being to really justify doing something like this because you're paying someone to do this. Like, think about that. You're paying someone to do this. Millions of people have second jobs. Are they all geniuses? Ironically, their need for a second job seems to indicate just the opposite. Let's see. How is it a hustle? She's actually performing a service, and why does she need to curse with every other word? The thing is, I think it might be like an Australian thing. I think it might be an Aussie thing as to why she cusses so much. Did you listen to the video with a mouth on that, dude? She had the mouth of basically a sailor. Sailor? Sailor. Sailor. Last count after the 47th F. This is nothing new. Anderson. Feel free to give your thoughts on this. And again, if you're able to find a unique way to make money, where it basically either doesn't really take much time for you, or you can basically put time in it and then start getting like recurring aspects money from it without you like you basically like not having to actively work for it all the time. Then go ahead and do it, right? Because the problem with doing side hustles is that you're trading your time typically to make more money, right? And it gets to the point where maybe just working overtime at your main job would actually be more bang for your buck, more bang for your time than doing all these weird side hustles, right? Like, for example, if you're a welder, it doesn't really make sense for you to be doing like DoorDash when you're a welder because some welders could easily make like $30 an hour, $40 an hour, maybe even more if they're like undersea welders, right? Where like they're like welding ships in the ocean. If you're a doctor, you definitely shouldn't be really doing side hustles, but maybe you do travel, whatever, travel services to like neighboring hospitals or a hospital in like different states so you can make crazy amounts of money, right? Because like there's like for example, there's like nurses, right, where they make a good amount of money in the hospital that's like where they live close to. But if they were to do travel nursing, they can make potentially double, maybe even triple what they actually make, depending on their whole contract or whatever, which is a crazy amount of money. Like, I heard a story of a nurse during COVID, the whole COVID times, where, like, in 2 months, I think they made like $400,000, like something crazy, like crazy amounts of money, right? Where like typically they might be bringing in like 20K a month if they were like just working at their hospital, but they were doing travel nursing in super high risk hospitals, and they made crazy amounts of money. So it's just something to really think about. Is like sometimes these side hustles literally make no sense to do it, like at all.